This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi.
Against the Flow of Mississippi was written by Anthony Oksenholt and was published by Oksenholt Biloxi Publishing, LLC. A link to the book will be placed in the description below.
Yeah, this a revolution in our time. Everybody's fighting, change coming, yes. That's why it's an acronym for riot. Everybody has a voice. Don't you dare stay silent. If you say nothing, you are an accessory to violence.
They've had their say. Seems like they've had that kind of say around here for too long. Look, I had to stand up for myself alone. I went in there to remind them that somewhere in this world there's still a little law and order left. To let them know in the only kind of terms that their kind understand is that they can't bribe or threaten their way out of what they did. Let them do this to me and get away with it, and you give them the eternal right to do the same damn thing to any one of you.
Access 228, your host, Anthony Oksenholt, where we report the facts and we are not for sale. If you have a news story or something that's on your mind, please feel free to give us a call at 228-337-2099. Be glad to have you on. Thank you for listening, and we do appreciate all that you do to support us and keep free and independent journalism doing what we do best.
All right, first off, before I even get started, I just want to say, God damn you, Izzo. I didn't watch this whole video yet, but I've seen enough of it to where it's a fucking train wreck. Anyway, Anthony Oksenholt, Access 228. This guy is a cop in uniform in Aberdeen, Mississippi. That's up north. So, Access 228 done went to Access 662. I get Aberdeen's a small town, but you know, I'm through there quite a bit, believe it or not. And, you know, we have places that the company I work for goes to. But anyway, let's go with it. That light's bothering me, sorry. Let's watch this stupid shit that, in my opinion, this guy needs... He needs a lot of things. To be fired is one, though. The other thing he needs to know how to do is, well, I'm not going to comment on the guy's beard. I know I hadn't shaved in a while, but you know what? I'm not in uniform anymore. Let's go with it.
If you fuck with me today, and I lock your bitch ass up, whoop-de-fucking-do, bitch.
Now, this is all public. Nothing I post is ever dug up to dox someone. This is public. This is DeNicholas Marby. He is in on a October 28th of this year post, Aberdeen Police Department shirt and a gun, a holster. We're looking at that. We can look at Aberdeen police badge on his social media, what seems to be a uniform. I see a cage in the back for a squad car. So you're looking at somebody who appears to be what would be a police officer.
No, Izzo, he is a cop. And this is where I have to interject here and step on Izzo for a minute. I've said this many fucking times. Training. In the state of Mississippi, any idiot with a GED can be a cop with 3 months of training if you could run a mile and a half in 17 minutes. That's the hardest part about going to the academy in Mississippi. I promise you. I don't fucking get it. I don't. You've got the standards so fucking low in the state of Mississippi that you have idiots like this fucking guy who, with that curve, that what is that, circle beard or whatever he's got going on, looks unprofessional as fuck and makes people look at the state of Mississippi like we're all a bunch of dumbasses. Take it away, Izzo.
And what would be somebody who's representing themselves as a active police officer for the city of Aberdeen, Mississippi. I want to hear how he handles criticism when somebody suggests that he be fired from his position as a police officer.
Y'all, excuse my bunny. I peeled all the rhinestones off that muff. But I'm just not really saying it.
Okay, first off, what in the Gen Z is he even saying here? Because I've heard this part of the video and I don't understand a fucking thing he's saying. So somebody please Gen Z to Gen X this thing for me, please, so I can understand it.
Come in because, to be honest, y'all, I don't be checking my comments like that when I post videos, but something just told me to go back and check out of curiosity. And this old hack got me fucked up. I don't even know if I can cuss on TikTok or not, so I'm trying not to cuss too much, but it be stuff like this that just irks me. I know people just gonna say stuff just to be saying it. It's gonna happen, but girl, who's gonna get fired? I said what I said. Fuck with me today, you gonna get locked. Your bitch ass gonna get locked up. Saying, yeah, that's the PC. Fuck is you saying? Y'all old hacks are weird. Y'all are weird. Y'all be on our shit coming for what the fuck we post, bitch. It's simply just entertainment. Anyways, thank you. Next, fuck.
All right, so upon the first time of hearing that, what I could make out, because again, I'm not being disrespectful, when I look at somebody who wants to be a police officer,
I'll be disrespectful. What the fuck did that motherfucker say? I really want to know. Like, please, I left my retard to normal people fucking translator at home.
you have to look at a national form across the board, right? And I'm not for federalizing police officers. I'm all for still maintaining the municipality operating in the capacity of serving the public. Granted, you're going to have to speak the language of what someone understands. I don't speak Cantonese, so I would never go to Chicago and patrol Chinatown because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I understand there's going to be dialect, accents, there's going to be slang that is used, that's fine, but still as a professional police officer, I wonder how that translates over into reports that are used to convict people of crimes they're accused of. So
which will wind up in court.
That Officer Marby is able to properly write grammatically correct English when composing police reports in order to righteously uphold the arrests he made for convictions? Or is there going to be a lot of issues with his report writing?
Let me answer that, Izzo. Most cops in Mississippi are not trained on how to properly write a fucking incident report. They're not trained on how to write a narrative. They're not trained on how to write an arrest report. I have seen, in my experience, working with law enforcement officers in Mississippi, and you know what? I would say, with the exception of the Mississippi Highway Patrol, because they do shit by the book. Sean Tyndall has made the Mississippi Highway Patrol so by the book that I am excluding them. All you red legs out there that see this, y'all can keep scrolling because I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about the Mississippi Highway Patrol. I'm talking about a lot of your smaller departments, and Aberdeen is a small town. I want to say, what's that, Choctaw County, or is that I think it's Choctaw County. Maybe it's Chickasaw County. I don't know. but I know it's up in the north. I know it's up in the Golden Triangle. I'm going to tell y'all, these smaller departments in Mississippi don't care. And the reason they don't care is, though, let me answer your question, brother. Because you have justice court judges and municipal court judges who are not even required to be lawyers to be judges in Mississippi. And they look at these reports and they're like, okay, I'll take it at face value. So there's no need for a lot of these officers to do proper, unless it's a felony, there's not a whole lot of need for them to do proper arrest reports. Now, should they? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because if I get arrested by an officer and they do a fucked up report, I'm going to nail them in court, and I'm not going to need a lawyer to do it. But to answer your question, no. I have seen reports go on the above date at the above time, this officer, blah, 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 or whatever, instead of on November 21st at 1700 hours, while patrolling Main Street, I observed XYZ ABC 123. That's not how they write reports in Mississippi, which is stupid because I can. Oh my God. Don't get me started, Izzo. You mentioned reports. I take that shit to heart. I take that shit personally. Do not get me started on reports. Come on, Izzo. Go ahead, take it.
And I understand he comes from a town of 4,000 people, and it's a lower crime area, which means that there might not be that much.
Not necessarily. Don't think that, Izzo. Not necessarily. There's a lot of small towns in Mississippi with a higher crime rate per capita than Chicago. Just throwing that out there.
To do, he's solo on patrol. There's going to be board times, but you have to ask yourself, as a taxpayer of that town, do you support people who are streaming live on TikTok
Fuck no.
while they're on duty?
What we do, babe, you TikTok famous. I know that's real. Come on, girl.
He want to be TikTok famous.
Fuck, we got the hit.
What in the Gen Z is this shit?
So streaming live on duty with another cop.
So come pick up your clothes. I have them for thee. Meet me at my door. Alley's still open. I know it's getting.
Please let me run
do we
into
think
this guy.
is acceptable?
This bitch must think he bigger than the program.
I see 2 violations of Title 63 of the Mississippi Code of 1972 right there. Distracted driving, not wearing a seatbelt. Where's he at? On Highway 45? Because that looks like Highway 45 to me.
Bigger than me. I'm talking about, girl, they're riding with the motherfucking knee. Do it one more time.
And why the fuck are they saying girl? He's not a girl. That is a male. Don't get me started on that.
Girl. No hand. Bitch. I don't know. Who y'all bitches be feeling like, bitch? I could never.
Y'all don't, you don't try to
That girl, hell nah. Bitch been on her this.
Driving, I can't visibly see a seatbelt. Driving with no hands and operating a handheld device, distracted driving as a police officer.
Okay, hold on. This guy's a police officer. Why has he got earrings? Somebody tell me what fucking uniform policy allows male officers to wear fucking earrings? Now, I was allowed to have a beard. I get that. I don't agree with officers having long hair, which he appears to do. That's piss poor defensive tactics training right there, because he doesn't realize that if he ever gets into a use of force if he ever gets into a fight, especially with somebody like me that knows what they're doing, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to grab him by his hair. And once I got control of the hair, I've got control of the head. If I have control of the head, I have control of the body. That's a dangerous situation that he's putting himself in and other officers. Somebody didn't teach that to him in defensive tactics. If I was to grab him by his hair and drag his face down hard on one of my knees, that's going to fuck him up. I'm not making any threats. I'm not saying that I would. I'm not suggesting people do this because obviously that's just fucking wrong. But I am saying in a self-defense, defensive tactics situation to where he is in a use of force, he is in a fight for his life. That long hair is going to get him fucked up. Those earrings is going to get him fucked up. If I snatch one of them fucking earrings out of his head because I don't want to go to jail, I'm some piece of shit that he's trying to arrest for a legitimate reason, and I'm a legitimate fucking bad guy who is really not, I don't want to go back to fucking prison. He's got so many ways that he's opening himself up, trying to pull this fucking looking cool Gen Z humanize the badge bullshit, that he will seriously find himself laid up in the emergency room somewhere for a while. Why is his department allowing him to have that? Yeah, I know I got long hair now. I know I got a long beard now, but guess what? I'm not in uniform anymore. If I was in uniform, y'all have seen my uniform pictures. Yeah. The beard is close, less than a half an inch long. The fucking hair, I fucking get my hair cut with a fucking 1 or a 2. My hair is really fucking short. My beard is really short. You've got nothing to grab. His facial hair, I grab that, I've got your ass. I grab hair, I've got your ass. Earrings, obviously, I've never wore earrings. I have balls, and I know I have balls, so I don't wear fucking earrings, obviously. You know, sorry. I grew up at a time to where there was only 2 types of males that wore earrings. Freaks and those that prefer the peen. I digress. I probably just pissed a lot of people off, and I really don't care. It's just the way it is. Blame it on my 80s roots. Come on.
My question is, does the city of Aberdeen need to be audited now with every citation that Officer Marby has ever written, if he has ever pulled anybody over and issued a citation for operating a motor vehicle with using a handheld device, distracted driving, no seatbelt, any of those? Does every single person who has ever been cited or stopped and then issued another ticket, regardless of that being the probable cause, and then furthermore, is this a condoned tactic? Is it allowed in the department? Do we need to look further into the policies and procedures of the personnel of the Aberdeen Police Department, allowing their police officers feeling this comfortably to do it? It doesn't seem that Officer Marby has been a police officer this long, and already he feels this insanely comfortable to break the law.
Hold on. Izzo, I doubt he's got 6 months on the job. I'm just going to go ahead and lay it out for you. I seriously doubt he's got 6 months on the job. Maybe I'm wrong, but if he's made it to his 6-month mark, I will be impressed. I can tell you that he's never had a use of force. I can almost guarantee you that this guy has never had a use of force. Ever. Because if he ever did have a use of force, he'd get his ass whipped. Hands down. I don't know. I know Aberdeen's probably got a handful of cops. Maybe, I don't know. If they got 10 cops on the whole department, chief included, I'd be surprised. That includes the chief and the dog catcher. This guy here, yeah. First use of force this guy gets into, he won't go to work looking like that again. I fucking promise you he would not. Hopefully. If he's smart, he won't. If he's smart, he'll shave that fucking beard down. I don't care if he wants to have a little circle beard, whatever the fuck. That's fine. But he'd get a haircut, he'd shave the beard down, he'd take the earrings out of his head if he ever had a use of force, because he'd never want to have another one again. Not like that. Because he would seriously get fucked up.
Camera to break his oath on camera and say that he will arrest somebody for irking him, for pissing him off, and he will arrest your bitch ass up. These are concerning things that if I were a member of the Aberdeen Police Department, I wouldn't want to work with them. If I was a resident of that town, I would be very concerned. And if I was driving through that town, I would make sure I got through it as quickly as possible, because I would be terrified to be pulled over by Officer Marby, because I would not be dealt with fairly.
Oh, no. Quite the contrary, my friend. Quite contrary. Oh, no. Marby, if you see this, please pull me over in my semi. I'm through Aberdeen all the time. Please pull me over. Look for me. Look for me. Okay? Look for me. I'm not hard to find. I want you to pull me over. I beg you to pull me over. Because if this guy ever did pull me over, all of these videos that he's making on TikTok would wind up getting shown in court. And let me tell you what I would do, okay? It wouldn't be municipal court that they'd get shown in. It wouldn't be municipal. I would go and I would plead not guilty. Then I'd go back, and Aberdeen from where I live on the Gulf Coast is probably about a 4.5 hour drive. Okay, I would drive up there for court, and what I would do is I'd plead not guilty. Then I would drive home. About a month later, we'd go back to municipal court, and I would sit mute. And when the judge said, okay, we're going to find you guilty, I'm going to say, great, now I'm appealing it to county court. Or circuit court, because I don't believe... I don't believe Aberdeen has a county court. I'm going to look this up. Okay. Back to what I was saying. Aberdeen, Mississippi is in Monroe County. It looks like Monroe County is one of the counties in Mississippi that does not have a county court judge. Therefore, if I get a ticket in Aberdeen by this officer, this is what I would do. I'm going to go to court. My initial appearance, I'm going to say not guilty. In about a month, I'm going to come back to court. I'm not going to say a thing. I'm going to let the judge find me guilty. Then I'm going to appeal it to circuit court. That's the next step. There's no county court. You bypass county court and you go land at circuit court. Now, once at circuit court, his entire social media shit is coming out. All of it. And it's going to be on the record. And if it's not a righteous stop, lawsuits getting filed. That's what I'm going to do. If y'all get pulled over by him, that's exactly what y'all need to do. Don't do it at municipal court. You take it to circuit court. That's your next step. Since there is no county court. Now, where I live in Harrison County, we have county court. Not every county in Mississippi has a county court judge. So, you appeal it, you bring all this shit up. How stupid do you think he's going to look? I'd say pretty damn bad. And here's the thing. Municipal court, justice court, neither one of those are courts of report. None of them. As a matter of fact, I encourage everybody that gets pulled over and wants to fight their ticket to appeal it to county court or justice court. I mean, county court or circuit court, depending on the structure of your county. If you have a county court, take it there. If you have to take it to circuit, take it to circuit. Insist on a trial. Get everything on the record. Then go in there and go get the transcripts of your trial. And there you go. That's my answer to this. Take it away, Izzo.
This is someone that has a massive, in my professional opinion, massive mental health issue. That
I
the
agree.
Aberdeen Police Department has possibly scraped the bottom of the barrel with their hiring process and glanced over some probably very good candidates. Or if we're at a time where this is what the Aberdeen Police Department, as is many other police departments in the United States, they're putting on the street, they're not able to because the quality of candidate is not coming in, they need to be taken over by county.
Can't do that in Mississippi. Sorry, Izzo. You can't do that in Mississippi. County cannot I mean, they can, but they don't want to. Oftentimes, taking a city police department being taken over by county does more harm than good. I'm just throwing that out there to you, buddy. That being said, this guy probably is the best candidate that they can get. I don't know what they pay, but I guarantee you they pay pretty close to the poverty line, if not below. That is a small town. And the northern part of Mississippi, once you get outside of the big cities, even in the Golden Triangle, is very poor. They ain't got a lot of money up there. So that's probably the best they could hire. I hate to say it. Because nobody wants to work in a smaller department like that unless you're just from there and you just care about your community that much. You want to be a man or a woman about town. That's really the only reason you go to work at a small police department, or if you just want to get a job real fast and you know they'll hire anybody. Here's the other thing. Who's to say this guy's even certified? Throwing something at you, Izzo, and I really hope you respond to my video. In the state of Mississippi, you can work as a police officer for 2 years without ever having to go into the academy. I'm sure it was different for you when you were up there in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Take it away.
It's time that the county sheriffs in these areas start absorbing these municipality police departments and putting their deputies on the street. Or the state police does, or if we can't do that, then yes, we need to go to federalized policing because this standard is just unacceptable.
Okay, let me stop you there. State police, we have the highway patrol. We don't have, Illinois has state police. Mississippi has the highway patrol. The highway patrol is not really equipped to take over the patrol duties. It's not like states up north. It's not like Pennsylvania or New York, where they have state police that's their job, state police. In Mississippi, it's the highway patrol. Highway patrol patrols the highways. They do a lot of traffic stops. They do DUIs. Now, we have the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, which can investigate anybody in the state, investigate any crimes in the state. But yes, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is under the Highway Patrol, but we're not set up like that. Just throwing that out there, buddy.